top right. Where are we starting, bruh? Confusing me. Alright. In the top right. He's the Purple Terran from Echo Esports. This is Azure.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand side, the mastermind of base trades. It's Ice Storm's Ender. I'm still impressed by that, how he finished that last game.
Yeah, man. Whack-a-mole world champion.
Pretty much.
That was a pretty crazy game. I don't think I've seen one that close in a long time, actually. Not in the C region, at least. So,
not in a long time. Oh, and here we go. Second barracks already coming down for Azure. We'll see if he throws down a third one. Because that is...
time will tell.
Traditional. Oh, here we go. The SCV's already in position. And here we go. Cutting SCVs. And going for that third barracks. And the second gas should probably come down as well pretty soon, just so he can support 3 Reapers worth of production at a time. And we'll see how Ender copes with this.
Yeah, because I've seen Ender bat this back against... I can't remember who it was against, but it was on this map. And because he does this macro hatch at the ramp, that's actually a little less space for the Reaper to jump up. It's not a lot, but it's something, you know. And then if you have your queens positioned around that area, because he tends to sometimes pump out, you know, a couple of extra ones when minerals permit. It's, you know, it makes it so that he can only really jump up on to the right of that, and that's less area to have to cover. But, you know, it's going to be a little while before he gets to that point, because bear in mind, he's just making his first lings and queens now, so at least they can meet the first Reaper. Let's see how Azure goes. His control can be pretty good. And, well, this build is never fun to hold.
Yeah, it comes down to the Zerg being super, super careful not to engage unless they have to. Like, unless the drones are literally under threat, you don't want to engage the Reapers, because they will kite back, picking off, like, a few lings here and there, slowly shaving your army down until they can overwhelm you. So yeah, you definitely need to keep your queens alive. You need to just save as many lings as possible until you like have to engage. And these queens will push the Reapers back for now. The third Reaper joining the fight as well. I really like this hatchery here, because that means it just gives the queen so much more mobility. And a lot of times, you know, Zerg players, their downfall is when a queen gets caught off creep, and you know the grenades push them even further off the creep, and they can't get back and they get sniped. And also this provides a lot of vision as well. It really lets Ender know where the Reapers are at any moment in time. He's actually going to throw down a Roach Horn behind this as well to try and push this back properly, and then maybe commit to some type of counter push at least. It looks like Azure not committing too heavily. A lot of times we see Terrans just go balls to the wall and just keep making Reapers to try and break the Zerg, but he's transitioned already. He's added some tech labs and researching stim. These Reapers doing a great job against these queens. The Reaper does go down though. Oh, trying to snipe that creep tumor, but not enough bombs were available at the time.
Yeah, pretty nice transition there from Ender. And these Reapers are just going to continue to be annoying. I guess this is kind of like that euthermal style you're talking about at this stage. Obviously, it's not the same opener, but it's at the point where he has 6 Reapers out the front. He's just going to be super annoying for as long as he can be with those, which is probably, like you mentioned, till these Roaches can actually get out here and do something about them. But yeah, Reapers do okay against Roaches. It's going to be a little while.
I'm really not a fan of trying to go for a counterattack with the Roaches. A lot of times you see Zerg kind of overcommit to Roaches, and then when they hold the Reapers, they're kind of like, okay, so what do I do with these like 10 Roaches that I just made? And they try to go for a counterattack, but like the Reapers can just constantly throw bombs and kind of delay them and chip away at them. But it looks like 2 Reapers get sniped, so Ender's seemingly in a great position at this stage.
Yeah, I feel like Ender would be more likely to take a third base, and there we go. He's actually going to drop that down there. He's generally not the type to kind of knee-jerk reaction sort of thing where you just go A-move the Terran and see what they have at home. And, you know, he's seen for a while now, Azure's only had those 6 Reapers. So, yeah, it's kind of following
Oh,
logic,
another
what would he be doing at home? Well, he's probably got, you know, some Marines coming out, maybe a couple Marauders, who knows? And he'd probably be fine to hold this off. So smart moves from Endo. Just going to go back into his macro. He's not looking too bad economically. 48 drones to 36 SCVs. Didn't lose a single drone to this harass. I don't think he even lost a queen, did he? Lost 6 slings. That's all he's lost.
I think he lost 1. Oh, really? He hasn't lost?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
6 slings and 8 Reapers lost.
Yeah. Azir's going to put on a lot of pressure, though. He waited quite a while to add this 3rd command center. He's pushing out with his naked Bioforce here. I believe Stim is done, and +1 attacks is about to finish. So this could get a lot of damage done if Ender isn't careful here. Those Ravagers, if the Bio gets on top of them, they will disintegrate extremely quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And he doesn't have the starport ready with the medevac or anything like that. So, oh gosh, he has to be really careful. The Biles have gone down. So he has to pull way back. Needs to get the Queens in the fight as well. A few more Roaches. The spine goes down very quickly. He's actually going to shred all of these Ravagers almost. It looks like he will get cleaned up, but not before taking a fair few gas units down with him.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to be a decent trade, but Ender staying really calm, kiting back correctly, and losing a minimal amount of Ravagers there. I think that trade ended up going in Ender's favor.
Yeah, it looked worse than it was, actually. Like, I thought he'd lost a fair few more units, but 4 Ravagers, not too bad, all things considered. So now is the time when Ender can poke out across the map and see if he can scare his opponent a little bit. Small supply block for him coming down there, but that's where it will be cleared up in just a moment. Yeah, this is actually a little bit scary because he just lost a big chunk of that force, that Bioforce.
Super scary. Those 1/1 Roaches against just the +1 attack Marines of Azir, they're not gonna fare very well against this amount of Roaches. And there is a siege check out on the way, but it's gonna be a little bit of time before they finish up. And actually, Ender doing the great move of hiding half of his Roaches so they can kind of come back and sandwich these Marines. Forced to lift up and go back into his main here. The siege check is finished though.
Yeah, but he can get in here now, and all he needs is a couple of Biles on that, or to try and focus it down, and Azir has to pick it up and move it back consistently with that medevac, or he's going to lose a really important defensive tool here. But that said, there's not even any Bio left really, so he's forced to pull the SCVs here to keep them off the tank, and this is doing so much damage to Azir.
Yeah, he lost a lot of workers there. 15 workers killed by Ender this game. And that puts him at a really nice drone lead of 39 to 58 here.
Yeah, he's not done either. He's getting another couple of workers, forces the lift on the 3rd base. That siege tank, well, those siege tanks I should say, are making it a bit difficult for him to close the gap here, but more Marines going down to this Roach force. 1-1 about to finish. 1 armor and +2 attack about to finish, and the +1 for the vehicle weapons about to be done as well. So probably a good time for Ender to have pulled out there, looking towards that 4th base obviously, and maybe wants to look ahead to teching up himself a bit because he's got the 1-1, but I assume he's going to do the same sort of fast hive style that we've been seeing a lot of the Zergs pull out.
Yeah, I mean, he is committing to a lot of Roaches, though. Like, I feel like maybe he wants to continue being aggressive here, because he's still making Roaches. I feel like he maybe feels as though he traded well enough that Azir's army just isn't going to be big enough to try and hold. There's 3 tanks already in position to try and do a lot of damage here, but there's not enough Bio to really keep these Roaches away from the tanks. And looks like the first 2 go down, just 1 remaining, and that one goes down as well. And without a wall here to keep the Roaches, like, actually 1 tank survived. But this is quite a few Roaches here, and these Marines are just not going to trade efficiently enough against the sheer amount of Roaches that Ender is shoving into the main of Azir. And this could actually break Azir.
I think so. You know, you could peel off a few more of those Roaches, go into the main. He's already got a few that could go into the 3rd as well. He's just all over the place. He's being an absolute pain in the backside. And Azir just simply does not have enough units to deal with all of this at once. Almost gets the tank, but nice pickups from Azir. He's, I've got to say, he does a very good job of keeping those tanks alive, but unfortunately it does finally fall. And there's the GG. Ender
really
takes the
nice
game.
decision there by Ender. He realized that he might be able to get the win there. And yeah, he went straight for it. You know, didn't try to do anything fancy. Just massed a bunch more roaches after that first shove and overwhelmed his opponent.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Zergs there just kind of pull back and feel really content to just try and play a macro game. But then that's where like players like Azure will start to drop everywhere, and without anti-air, it can get pretty difficult for the Zergs. So I really liked that decision by Ender, actually.
Yeah, he played that very, very well. He's quite good with the Roach Ravager style, actually. But yes. Hopefully, Azure can put up a bit more of a fight. I mean, we've seen Azure kill how many Zergs already? He beat Chase. Oh, these brackets are so hard to look at. Chase, Crimson, Wally. Not sure who before that. But, you know, he's already been through 3 Zergs. This is his 4th Zerg. He's well and truly warmed up for TvZ at the moment, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good life to be a professional Terran player in the OCE region. Because I think Terrans tend to like playing Zergs as well. It's like a really fun matchup.
Yeah.
As long as you can beat them, of course.
That's the catch, isn't it? I remember, like, Igus during Wings of Liberty had so many second places. So many. He was kind of like the Kong of the sea. Just because he would always lose to, like, the same couple of Zergs in the finals. And he was so good, and it was so frustrating because no one ever really got to see how great Igus was until Heart of the Swarm, when he started to actually qualify for primary and stuff. For that reason. So it really is a case of whether or not you can kill the top Zergs like Pig and Ender and King Kong. And yeah,
Moonblade did really well, actually. I remember he got to like the round of 16 for WCS.
Yeah, back in the old days as well, where the system wasn't so kind to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really sick. I remember staying on watching those games, being like, please, he has to win. Oh, God.
I remember he came to an event for like the University StarCraft Society, like a viewing, and that was like right after he got to round of 16. And when I saw him, I was like super starstruck. I was like, "Hi, Moonblade!" Like, it was super embarrassing.
But... Oh, so cute. Yeah. I can't even remember when I first met Moonglade. I have no recollection of that event at all. Wow.
You're so young. You're just a baby.
Maybe. All right. We are in our next map. Laralite Crest, the first time we're seeing this map today, actually. Yeah. And in the top left, he's the purple Terran. He is known as Azure.
And spawning in the top right-hand position as the Teal Zerg from Storm Gaming, it's Ender. The Beast from the Philippines. This guy.
For sure. I reckon Ender's probably one of my favorite foreigners that we regularly see in international tournaments.
Yeah. Super nice guy as well.
Guy. Yeah.
I meet him when I went over to Singapore last year. Kind of quiet like me, so we got along.
Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Ender. I want him to come to Australia for something. I don't know.
Yeah,
we have
it's
games,
so expensive, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
flights and stuff.
It's hard. Like when the prize money isn't going to pay for your flight, and then some, it's kind of like, not really worth it. But, yeah, maybe one day we'll be lucky when we have IEM Sydney or something.
Oh, yes. Please. That would be so sick.
Right? Oh, so
but what do you think of this map?
Yeah, I think that kind of explains what I think of it.
Yeah.
No, it's an alright map. I don't mind it. Obviously, the fact that it's very wide open is nice for Zerg, so I have a slight bias in that position, that That position, yeah. I don't know what my sentence was supposed to be there, but let's roll with it. But yeah, it's okay. I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. I wouldn't want to play it if I was a Terran.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have thoughts on that. But I think the one good thing for Terran on this in these positions is that some of the pushes that you see come out hit so fast, and you have that ledge on the side of the natural that you can leverage to do some elevator play. That can be really nice.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few Terrans do like Hellbat pushes on this map because there's no way for the Zerg to kind of wall off their natural. Those can be pretty effective, and these days, like, a lot of Zergs, I think, overlook the Hellbat pushes. So sometimes they're not prepared and you can just catch them off guard, but I don't think Ender will get caught off guard by a build like that. I mean, it could still do damage, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if you
Ender's...
Oh, no!
Okay,
He's never gonna let this land either. Oh no, if the reactor goes down, that's such a big piece of the Terran early game. He cannot lose this, but I don't think he can repair it. Oh, it's so close!
He's gonna try and put down these SCVs as well, so at least he's getting something out of it. Oh wow, he saves it. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah. Good reaction time once those lings got in to repair that. That was so low.
Yeah, that was a bit of a... That's for sure. Alright, well, Link gets a full scout off as well, so 3 SCVs, full scout, and a bit of delay on that Rax and CC. No, Rax and Factory. Why won't my mouth work today? Rax and Factory switch, so that was still worth it for 6 lings. That went very well for him.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Azure is just going to go a Liberator off a naked starport, adding the tech lab onto the barracks. I wonder if he's going to start stim straight away, or if he's going to switch that onto the starport for some Banshees or something. Banshees would be great, actually, especially because Ender is doing a roach push across the map, even committing with his queens, so this is going to be really tricky for Azure to hold. His natural is so wide open. These supply depots at the ramp as well are going to get taken out for sure. Oh, and the Marines getting sniped as well. That's going to be so painful.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy to deal with. He's going to force a lot of lost mining times. He's had to pull off that natural and now lift that CC as well. Hellions aren't going to be enough to deal with this either, but at least he has the Liberator, so it's making it a little bit awkward. But he's got Queens in tow as well, so that gives him a couple of transfuses and the ability to hit some air. But Azur's using the positioning on that ledge there very nicely.
Yeah, Queens can't really get to that one. But I mean, Ender pretty happy to get that denied mining. He's probably going to try and contain Azure for as long as possible to delay that natural.
Transfuse!
Well, looks like Azure is just going to ignore the Queens though, realizing that there shouldn't be much in the way of defending these Hellions back at home.
Smart.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of drones. Oh, they get pulled to try and fight, and a lot of them clump up, even lining up here.
Oh no, the cottage!
Oh,
this is really nicely done by Azure. Very smart of him to recognize that Ender cannot keep up with these Hellions, so he can sneak past, get a whole lot of kills. At the same time, the Roaches are going into the main to try and get some kills of their own. But again, we've got another scrappy game on our hands, and I'm not sure who's going to come out on top here. There's so many drones going down. Oh.
And with that, with a bit of my hits, I think Roaches will get held here. And Ender down to just 9 drones. Oh, you just remade a bunch, but still at 15. It's going to come down to how many kills these Roaches can get. He's going to have to micro the crap out of those.
Yeah, this is gone very pear-shaped for Ender. He's lost 42 drones. He's almost got none left. He's been only droning behind this to try and make up for what he lost. But he's still 20 drones down. Like, he's got 11 drones left. Got some Ravagers in here, though.
Unfortunately, it takes 3 shots to kill the Liberators, so I don't think he'll get any Liberator kills. That would have been really nice if he could get some kills on the Liberators, but... Oh!
That slight repair really helped there. Well, Azure is looking fantastic now.
Yeah, that first CC is going to finish up pretty soon, so that's going to ramp up his SCV production even more. It already is, and Stim is finished as well, by the way. So as soon as he gets like a little Bioforce, he can kind of get aggressive if he wants to.
Yeah, he can switch over that starport with the factory soon for the reactor and get that rolling. Unfortunately, Anders also rallied his overlords by mistake to his opponent's base, so now he's going to lose a few of those as well. Bringing the queens over actually to do I'm not sure what. He's probably just going to lose those, so it might be better to send them home.
Oh.
He's making some ravages though, so I guess he's going for a push with everything that he can muster right now, which is all of about 7 units, unfortunately. But I mean, you do what you gotta, right? He's got to try something.
Yeah, he's gonna try and go for this Ravager push, at least do some harass with them or something, try to pick away at something of Azure's, because if he lets Azure just sit back and macro up, he will definitely fall significantly behind. These queens, though, they're so slow. One, well, the bunker might go down. Actually, it doesn't go down yet. Oh,
this is a little bit too much firepower, perhaps. He's using the transfuses to the best of his ability, but that's still a lot of damage with the medevac healing and the stim in play as well. It's so hard to actually get in here, and there's liberators to think about as well. 3 Ravages isn't going to cut it, but you know, he's making 14 drones behind this, so this is just pressure to try and recover some of that lost economy. And I guess it is working for now, but I'm not sure if it's going to be
Azure needs to be careful not to overcommit here. Moving his liberators forward, he's going to lose both of them. And now, without any liberation zones to pull back into, Ender could perhaps try and overwhelm this, or he could at least try and get into the mineral line.
Oh, he's making a few more roaches and ravages. He needs to be careful not to get those mowed down while he's not. No. Okay, well, GG.
Interesting little game there.
Yeah.
Ender trying a bit of a sneaky quick win strategy there with the roaches and the queens, but Azure's build managed to hold it off pretty easily.
Yeah, I can't really blame him for that one either, because it's a weird map. You know, not everyone really wants to play a fully fledged macro game on that one. And when you're those positions with the Terran, you're kind of like, oh god, what is he actually going to throw at me? Like, it could be anything, and everything's just going to get there that little bit faster. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one. Again, players trading blows in their mineral lines, but yes. It was not meant to be for Ender in that one.
Yeah, to be honest, it didn't look like that solid of a build. Like, I don't know how many Terran openers really died to that, to be honest. Like, maybe if the person was going for Banshees, they'd be a bit more delayed, and the roaches could get into the main straight away, but yeah, I guess against the Banshee build, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah, I think it was a clever build though, because remember he started off with just 6 lings poking in there, and he actually happened to get the get the reactor. And so from there, like, there was no way that Azure was gonna be scouting around in his base and knowing what was going on there. So yeah, I guess that played into it a lot, in the sense that Endo was like, oh, sweet, now I've messed him up. You know, that's my best chance to actually get in there and make the strat work. But yeah, we'll see what happens in Game 3. If we see another cheeky build from Endo, because Endo's been pretty keen to finish things before they get too far into the mid to late game against Azure. So I'm kind of expecting him to do a similar thing again. And we're going to be going into Dust Towers for the 3rd map.
Yeah, looks like it. And I mean, this map tends to kind of draw out a lot of macro games, just because it is very easy to defend your natural. 3rd base is pretty easily defensible as well, especially for Terran, just because you can put tanks on the high ground, and just kind of take a pretty greedy 3rd if you want to. But it's going to come down to what kind of builds these guys choose. I haven't seen many Nidus Worm builds, actually.
Yeah,
For a
I mean,
while,
really.
like, it was...
Actually, there were a couple in the early stages of Legacy of the Void, weren't there?
Yeah, there was a lot, and then some Terrans were saying it was overpowered, and there was some controversy about that, but it kind of seemed to have fallen off a little bit in terms of usage from the Zergs. I'm surprised. Maybe Terrans will figure out how to hold it like perfectly or something.
Oh well. Maybe if we're super lucky, we'll see a Nidus in this game. I don't know. I'll keep my fingers crossed. In the meantime, though, in the bottom left-hand corner, as the purple Terran, this is Azure, representing that Echo Esports.
In the top right-hand position as the sexy pink-colored Zerg, playing for Storm Gaming, it's Ender.
It sure is. Yeah, I think the last time I saw a Nidus Swim build, can't remember for the life of me who it was, but it failed miserably. And I think it was on this very map, actually, because they had the one Overlord, like, just next to the main in that airspace. And then the other one near the natural. And because those are the two most obvious places to kind of dump it, the Terran, as soon as they saw the first Nidus, they just surrounded it. And then they covered all the other areas with, like, vision, like, just to make sure there's no possible way that this could get up without being met by, like, at least 15 Marines or something. So, I think maybe the problem with it is that when it fails, it still fails quite spectacularly, and it's a very expensive thing to do. So, maybe it's still suffering from that old sort of failed Nidus Worm curse, or it became too obvious, or I don't know. I'd still like to see it a bit more, because I think Wally used it to great effect in his matches.
Yeah. I'm just more curious to see how Terrans are holding it, because I died to it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the queens just kind of pop out, and I have like a tank in position. I'm like, yeah, I got this. And then the queens pop out, just transfuse the Nidus a bunch of times, and then all the roaches flood through, and I just die. Damn it.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the lore on holding it is, but pretty much the times I've seen it held is because they've had it surrounded by units, and it's made it really hard for anything to actually happen, because anything that comes out gets mowed down immediately. But that's like a very specific situation anyway, where you know about it, you're ready for it, and you've got enough stuff nearby for it as well. But Reaper's gonna have a bit of a poke around in here, see if he can grab a ling or two. Won't be lucky enough